Now, if there's only two problems of the German or even the European economies are suffering from, it would be Russia-Ukraine conflict and a historic meltdown of trade relations. Now, both the topics tie directly into the United States. And this week, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz will be in the US to meet President Donald Trump. Lars Holter is with Deutsche Welle and joins me from Berlin. Lars, what is on top of the agenda for the Chancellor?
Thanks for having me. Well, you named the two problems we are facing. Now it seems the number one topic on the agenda for this bilateral meeting will be Russia's war in Ukraine. And rightly so. This geopolitical crisis, a war of aggression in Europe and now in its fourth year, it's obviously the most pressing problem to be solved internationally. And we've been at a crossroads lately after US President Trump has often taken Russia's side in the conflict. He's blamed Ukraine for the war. He dismissed it as a regional conflict that the Europeans were supposed to deal with. And just very recently, over the past few weeks, Trump seemed to have come around again to see that Russia's Vladimir Putin might just be the aggressor and the one who will have to move towards achieving peace in the region. Anyway, now Merz has one clearly defined goal. He needs to convince Trump to increase pressure on Putin, to criticize and ideally sanction Russia, to pull any support from Putin, even if it's just words of encouragement or criticism of Ukraine. Merz will try to bring the US back to the table, hoping that economic sanctions from the US against Russia can force Putin to actually negotiate.
So much for the personality of the two leaders there, but is there anything substantial helping Merz win Trump's favor?
Yes, there is indeed. So Trump has long criticized Europeans for not investing enough in defense in the country's individual militaries. But it's exactly here where things are moving. Confronted with the reality of Russia's war in Ukraine and the US shying away from the conflict, Merz has said he wants to invest 5% of Germany's GDP into defense. 3.5% would go straight into the military, with the remaining 1.5% going into the country's infrastructure. That begs the question, of course, is that really a 5% pledge then? And yes, it is, because in case of a war, for example, a country located as centrally in the heart of Europe as Germany is, obviously we need a functioning infrastructure with rail, roads and bridges, airports and harbors and such. So indeed, Merz's plans for investment might placate Trump and ideally bring the US back a bit closer towards Germany and the European Union.
All right, thank you so much, Lars, for joining us. Moving on.